Have you ever had the eerie feeling that something about reality just doesn't seem quite right? Maybe it's the way déjà vu happens, how the laws of physics sometimes seem strangely fine-tuned, or even how math and code-like patterns seem embedded in the very fabric of nature. Some scientists and philosophers believe these oddities could point to a startling truth, that we might be living inside an advanced simulation, a kind of hyperrealistic virtual reality created by an unknown intelligence. But if that's the case, should we demand a software update? Would we be able to tweak the rules of physics? And most importantly, if we're inside a simulation, who or what is running it? Let's take a deep dive into one of the most mind-bending questions in modern science: is reality just a program? The idea that reality could be an illusion isn't new. Over 2,000 years ago, Plato proposed the allegory of the cave, where prisoners mistake shadows on a wall for reality. Later, René Descartes argued that we could be deceived by an all-powerful force, making us think reality is real when it's actually an illusion. But today, this idea has moved beyond philosophy into serious scientific debate. In 2003, philosopher Nick Bostrom put forward the simulation argument, which suggests one of three things must be true. Advanced civilizations will never develop the technology to create realistic simulations of conscious beings. They will develop the technology but choose not to run such simulations. Such civilizations will run simulations, and in that case, the number of simulated realities would vastly outnumber the one real reality. If the third option is correct, then statistically, it's far more likely that we are inside a simulation than living in the base reality. If our reality is a simulation, what evidence would we expect to find? And if there are flaws in the system, can we exploit them? In video games, glitches reveal the underlying code. Could similar glitches exist in our reality? Some scientists argue that bizarre quantum behaviors, like particles existing in multiple places at once, could be evidence of reality being rendered dynamically, just like graphics in a simulation. Another oddity is the Mandela effect, where large groups of people remember events differently than how they appear in history, such as misremembered logos, movie lines, or entire events. Could this be a sign of a system update, where past data has been altered? Have you ever experienced something that felt like a glitch in reality? Let's hear your weirdest stories in the comments. In video games, environments aren't fully rendered until a player is there to see them. This saves computing power. Interestingly, in quantum mechanics, particles exist in a state of probability until they are observed. This is known as the observer effect, demonstrated by the famous double-slit experiment, where light behaves as both a wave and a particle depending on whether it is being measured. If reality behaves this way, could it mean that our universe renders itself on demand to save processing power? If so, this would be a major clue that we are inside a simulation. If reality were a simulation, would it change how you live your life? Let me know in the comments. For a simulation to exist, there must be a creator. Some scientists believe that if an advanced civilization evolved far beyond us, they might be running simulations of past civilizations, like a cosmic historical research project. Others suggest that simulated realities could serve entertainment purposes, much like our own video games. If that's the case, are we just characters in someone else's high-tech experiment? If you had the power to create a simulated universe, would you do it? Why or why not? We are already taking the first steps toward creating simulated realities. AI is learning to mimic human consciousness, and quantum computing could soon allow for hyper-realistic digital worlds. If we ever reach the point of creating a full simulation with sentient beings, then logically, a more advanced civilization could have already done the same to us. This leads to a strange paradox: if we are simulated, and we create our own simulations, does the cycle ever end? Could reality just be an infinite series of nested simulations? if we create fully conscious AI, should they have rights? Let's discuss below. If we are in a simulation, could we modify it? Some theorists suggest that meditative states, altered consciousness, or even mass belief might be ways to hack the system. Others propose that if the simulation has flaws, like suffering, disease, or aging, maybe we should demand a system update. But if the creators are indifferent to us, would they even care? If you could patch one thing in reality, what would it be? Better physics? No more suffering? Leave your update requests below. What if our simulated reality isn't just for research or entertainment, but a test? Some scientists and philosophers propose that if we are inside a simulation, it could be designed to observe how we react to challenges, morality, and survival. Religious and philosophical traditions have long suggested that life is a trial, with consequences for our actions. Could this idea be rooted in something real? If an advanced intelligence is monitoring us, are we being graded? And if so, what happens when the test ends? One possibility is that those who pass the test, whatever that means, might be uploaded into a higher reality, while those who fail simply get deleted or restarted. If this is true, then free will might be an illusion, but our actions could still have very real consequences. If life were a test inside a simulation, what do you think we're being tested on? And what happens when we graduate? Drop your theories below. If we truly live in a simulation, could there be glitches in the system? Some people point to phenomena like déjà vu, that eerie feeling that you've experienced a moment before, or the Mandela effect, where large groups of people misremember the same historical events in identical ways. Then there are quantum anomalies, like particles behaving differently when observed, as if reality itself adjusts based on awareness. Even consciousness itself might be evidence of a simulated world. After all, how do we know our thoughts are truly ours, and not just complex lines of code running in a hyper-advanced system? Could it be that when we encounter strange coincidences, statistical anomalies, or moments of extreme improbability, we're actually witnessing small breakdowns in the simulated fabric of reality? And if so, what happens if we push too hard? Would the system correct itself or let us see behind the curtain? Have you ever experienced something so bizarre that it made you question reality? Could these be glitches in the simulation? Share your weirdest experiences below. So, are we actually in a simulation? While there's no definitive proof, the idea is compelling enough that serious scientists are investigating it. Whether or not our universe is a program, questioning reality itself might be the most important thing we can do. Now, it's your turn. Do you think we're in a simulation? And if so, what feature would you want upgraded? Drop a comment, hit like if this got you thinking, and subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest mysteries of existence. Until next time, stay curious.